Welcome to the bold analysis. Nandi residents are up in arms against William Ruto's new budget policies. And they're simply saying that the cost of living that is skyrocketing under the guise of the template of economic recovery is not what was promised in Better. Better is bottom-up economic model. And it's better the time Uhuru Kenyatta's reign than that this William Ruto's reign. Exposing what exactly are the insights that Ruto are not getting, because there have been a general understanding that there are those who are shielding the truth from President Ruto. And what this gentleman is saying in this video is what the nation needs to listen to.
Bottom up, unasikia sasa wanataka kuraise taxes ya VAT. Saa hii wanataka kukata mishahara ya watu wananunua mortgage. Saa zingine wanasema sijui wanataka kupeleka kwa NSSF. Sasa sisi tutapona wapi? Sasa hii maneno yenye wanasema bottom up ni gani? Sasa uchumi imeenda juu. Kila kitu tunasikia uchungu sana hapa. Na tunasema tuko na mtu yetu ambaye anaongoza. Kumbe ilikuwa namna hii. Ukituambia ya kwamba vitu zenye itasomwa budget hivi karibuni itaenda juu alafu tutanunua vitu na nini? Saa hii kulipa school fees ni tabu, kununua sukari ni tabu, kununua kila kitu ni tabu. Saa hii hakuna mahindi Kenya
na hakuna ajira,
hakuna hata vile wanasema hata mahindi imekuja Kenya hakuna. Sasa tunataka uchumi ikuje chini mahali penye tulikuwa. Afadhali hata wakati ule tulikuwa mahali penye ilikuwa ukaweza kununua chakula, lakini saa hii uwezi. Hii watu wanalala njaa. Na ni sababu ya pesa yenye hakuna. Na mimi nafikiria sasa hapo ndio uchumi imeenda juu zaidi. Ukiona wakulima hawana pesa, wafanya biashara hawana pesa, sasa unataka kuniambia hii uchumi iko kweli mzuri? Hii uchumi iko mbovu. Tunataka uchumi ikuje chini kwa wananchi ili tuende nao pamoja. Wasituambie maneno mengine. Sasa sitaumia na sitakaa, lazima wajue ya kwamba hata mimi niko na njaa. Na nikiwa na njaa usiniambie nyamaza ati kwa sababu ni mtu wenu. Hapana, tunasema ya kwamba tunataka sisi tuendelee mbele. Na kama hii ndio maneno yenye wanasema ni mtu yetu, hapana, sisi tunakataa.
Unasikia mafuta wanataka waongeze kwa 200. Mahindi ni 200. Kila kitu ni 200, sukari 200.
Now ladies and gentlemen, that points out that this matter of cost of living is not a child's play. I want us to interrogate and draw some political insights from that video clip. But before that, allow me to take just a minute to remind you about the Tuesday appeal for this mzee you're seeing here. This mzee is 76-year-old. He's called Ruben Lema. Mela. Yes, Mela. Is currently diagnosed in Mkumu Hospital. If you go to Mkumu, you'll find him there, suffering hemorrhoids, and is due for some surgery that is only costing 67,000. So after they reached out, I'm reaching out to you shortly. This is just going to be a Tuesday fundraiser, just Tuesday. Whatever you're going to collect, we are going to send to that family on Wednesday, so that when they pay the deposit, probably 50,000, the mzee will undergo the surgery on Wednesday, so that asikie vizuri. So I'm studying the gap for that old man. For anything you can get, just targeting 50. If 50 of us, if 1,000 of us can donate only 50 shillings on Tuesday, on Wednesday, we're in a position to send for that mzee, the family of that mzee, 50,000, so that the surgery can be done on Wednesday. I've pinned my number there, and thank you very much for those who are responding. Now, while in Nyandarua, Raila Odinga said that something about speaking the truth to power. And this is trying to, and he made it clear about those who are around William Ruto and those who seem to be a bit uncomfortable by the truth. And the truth of the matter here is that Kenyans are finding it very difficult. The payroll has been raided. The taxman is also raiding the streets, fishing for the little coins that people are having, and the Kenyans are overtaxed.
will united, we must also speak truth to power. Mwambia truth to power. Hapana tiswa, hapana ogopa. Unaogopa nini? Lakini unaogopa. Kwa hivyo sisi kama wanaazimio si waendawazimu. Sisi kama si waendawazimu, tunaweza tu kuelewana. Lakini sakini mimi naambia ukweli. Gharama ya maisha imepanda. Hapana leta ushuru mingi zaidi.
I'll be a very truthful man on this video. Those who are sending William Ruto home in 2027 is a group of politicians that have formed a chorus group. Mheshimiwa Rais unapendwa. This chorus of we voted for you, you are a truthful man, we believe you. The Mheshimiwa Rais chorus, President Ruto is surrounded by people that cannot tell him the truth. That people that cannot face the facts and tell him in the face what exactly is going on. That compact majority is also thriving in another false confidence that President Ruto is having. And I listened to the interview at Citizen TV. I think the president believes he is the man behind the messaging. That even if he can counter Azimio one person, or he can counter what others are saying as a person, that false confidence, he has found himself in a number of contradictions. Starting from the gas cylinder, to the tax question, I'm not going to reduce taxes, to fertilizer, and he's a man that now has been exposed as being on a double speak. Someone who speaks this side and meets the other. He has found himself in a lot of troubles. The dam that I analyzed for some of you guys, we build 100 dams, we'll build 4 dams per town county. We are going to build 2 dams in 8 dams in Meru. You know, we're going to build a mega dam. You know, he has found himself in a lot of contradictions until you even wonder, did he even forget that he said the other thing? You know, this is what is going on, and this is what those around William Ruto must tell him, if they mean well. The cost of living question cannot be countered by political persuasion. The UDA party has been bolstered. The visibility of the party is now being amplified in the Western Belt, yes, because there is a belief that Western Belt is the center of revolt, because of the Azimio enjoying massive support, So the UDA, if you check the UDA registration drive, it is being done in Siaya, Kisumu, Omabei, Migori, and I think Kakamega. I think also partly Busia. It is being done there because those people think that is where there can be some sort of revolt, so we need to do some political smoothing. But those who are around William Ruto must tell him that the cost of living do not know where you are born. I've always said that on election day, when they get that ballot paper, immediately they see it is when they remember, I am Onyango, I am Kamau, I am Wanjiru, I am Kiplagat. You know, that's where people then try to reason, look at their first names. But immediately the next day after election, when the cost of fuel is up, now it's the inflation, the cost of fuel is up, it will not know you. I remember saying that I'm not one of the person that appreciates the discussion of one of our own is in government, so we are in government. Forget about it. That gentleman is in government himself with his family and his friends. Cannot even get a tender because he is in government. So that's what I'm saying. Those around William Ruto and want to speak truth to power, like what Raila said, must tell him the truth. The cost of living do not know political persuasion. And this is a very thorny issue in the flesh. Secondly is this. the state or the UDA has been having a narrative, two narratives. One is that economic recovery, what we are doing as UDA that is pressing the population is for economic recovery. And allow me to school you for a while, to school these people for a while. The question of an economic recovery, when you say it in Nairobi in some workshop somewhere or some press conference, people around that place will understand it. The only economic recovery that mwananchi pale Nandi, pale Kerugoya, in my small village in Siaya County, the only economic recovery they understand is price of fuel iko chini, yule mtu wa boda boda is not complaining. The price of vunga is retailing at 140 or 150. The price of sugar has dropped. That is the only thing that the other person understands. So the pitch, going to defend yourself before the mamambogas and the hustlers that I am reviving the economy, it lacks the grip, it lacks the touch. Mtu hailewi. Because there are those who have said that I want to pay debt. Do you know that there are people who don't know, and even me myself, I don't know how much is 500 billion. Inatoshana ni pesa, inatoshana aje? I know, yes, 500 billion is a lot of money, but if you start explaining to a layman that I want to revive, I spent 500 billion to pay the foreign debt, so because to memlipa deni, so we are light, those things do not sink. So the question of we are reviving cost of living, it has been discussed or explained in different leaders differently. Mudavadi is saying it will take us 2 to 3 years. William Ruto is saying, I have already stabilized it. Rigathi Gachagua is saying, William Ruto is in the right direction to stabilize it. And David D is saying, it might not even take us, even the first term is not enough. It can take us even 10 years. So look at that. There is no clear position on this matter. And what the political class must understand, this narrative that I'm doing this to revive the economy, and number two, because Uhuru destroyed it, they're not convincing the masses. After 2 years of some time, you may not come and tell me why I can't afford it simply because you are reviving that economy. People don't understand that question, by the way. It has to be broken down into, you have to buy unga now at 170, so that when I do this, it will drop at 150. When I do this, then that's it. The other thing is this, and this is the other thing Ruto is suffering. During campaign trail, and some of us, we covered the campaigns. If there was a team that was well organized in terms of communication and propaganda, that was UDA. Take that to bank. And I know people who are in the social media experts and the journalists that watch this podcast will agree with me that even if you could do a post, if Azimio would do a post against William Ruto, immediately there will be a counter narrative on the same. Even if Raila will speak somewhere during the campaign rally, maybe somewhere in Narok, within 1 minute, if William Ruto is speaking where he is, utamsikia anafanya rejoinder. Look at the way that was. Now immediately people got power, these propaganda machines and the communication people, they were absorbed in the public service, and you'll have to bear with them. Immediately they were absorbed, they became very comfortable. We've got it. Azimio, on the other hand, has maintained their end. Yes, they've maintained it. So what's happening is that Ruto is lacking a communication machinery to confuse the population. That's the word. Anyway, because what they need to do is to spin. Those who can spin the facts for them now are not there. And so the government, the UDA communication machinery collapsed. I recently saw they picked some guy to head UDA digital team. That's what they're trying, but they're not still doing enough. And what has happened is Raila is benefiting more because he's now enjoying monopoly of information. It's because he's the only person, like what that gentleman is saying, what Raila was speaking about the cost of living. I listened to William Ruto interview, and there are things I had there for the first time. I'm like, there is a very big disconnect between what UD is doing and what the population understands, or what the population is doing. Because the UD in their own understanding, they seem to be implementing the plan. But the masses are not seeing the plan. The plan is better, bottom-up economic model. The masses are not seeing the plan. So it's a very big disconnect there. Lastly, the policies that are being implemented, even in the budget, is a bit insensitive of the population distress because they're not led. I think there is no intelligence input. When the reason why Uhuru Kenyatta brought in these direct jobs like the Kazi Mtaani, that initiative it was intelligence on the Kenyan people the Kenyan youth are jobless, and the crying. Because it was an election time, people would want to describe it by saying we wanted to please the masses to vote for Raila. But remember, that project came in the wake of COVID, and the country was just healing from devastating COVID-19. So we need to agree. I think the intelligence is also telling Ruto, what do the Kenyan youth say? What do Kenyan youth think about the administration? What do the Kenyan women, what are the boda guys thinking? What are the middle class saying about these taxes? What are the teachers and the doctors thinking about this deduction? So that aspect of intelligence input, so that even if you work towards a holistic approach of reviving the economy, but you tag along the population. You don't go alone. You can have good intentions, but if it is not well communicated and packaged to us, the population may not be part of it. And that disconnect, I can tell you, it will cost the UD administration a lot. The moment they will be back to the political fold, trying to campaign, they'll have to use a lot of state machinery and resources to please the population. There will be a lot of money being spent on Kenyan youth and people. Actually, it will just be used to buy the people, because there is a bit of that disconnect. I don't know what can help. The interview is just happening once. William Ruto must make sure that he strategizes on communication. Otherwise, this is not going to be an easy one for the next election, because Kenyans can change the guard.